Hi everyone, I hope you are doing good. I am coming on here and I've been thinking about what type of topics might help other people who are experiencing hardships and have been violated by the so-called child protective services or the adult so-called protective services and their anti-family kangaroo courts, which are actually banks, and there's no judges in these so-called courts. They are administrative clerks, and the attorneys in three-piece suits, they're all working together in a team effort. They are joining hands in order to carry out their business. And the so-called caseworkers and their supervisors are very ignorant to what is going on, because what happens is you will see true cases of abuse and neglect, and then the system that continues to roll over parents will be based upon just presumptions, assumptions, and hearsay, and that is actually what the majority of this business is ran off. It is the modern day form of human trafficking. It is not off of true cases of abuse and neglect. And so what happens is there's a cognitive dissonance that occurs inside of the conditioning and programming, and all that energy that you put into getting that degree, getting that job, and you have a lot invested in it. It's then very hard to see what is actually going on. You have a veil over your eyes, and I just see so much out there in the way of people believing that these entities and these people working for these entities are working for the best interest of families and the so-called children and moms and dads and the elderly. Well, they have been conditioned and programmed. They have been brainwashed, because having any type of incentives to go in and to disrupt a family and their natural rights, it is our birthright to be free. And to use deception to do so is wrong. It is not okay. And there is so many people stuck in low vibrations. And I've looked at kind of the spiritual side of things, looked at the religious side of things, look at the educational side of things, and the so-called justice side of things, the medical so-called system that is out there, and the politics, everything that is going on. When I stand back, what I see is a lot of people just going along with what has been taught to us. Even if these crimes against humanity are going on, people are blind to it. They're blind to the pain and the hurt and the agony and the depression and the anxiety, the suicide that is going on, and they believe that they are doing what is right, and it's just too bad that those things are happening, but everyone will be fine and they will be resilient. You know, so-called children are resilient, and so, they'll just put them into a new family. They have all this the psychology that is out there. I have a master's in counseling, and so I'm very aware of all of the training that they have and all of the research they have on, the psyche, and also how to basically manipulate people. And they are able to see that, okay, we'll place these children into these new homes, and yeah, they're going to act out, they're going to, regress in developmental, capacities and different types of milestones that they have overcome in the past. And that's just normal that they're regressing because, right, they're abused and neglected children. Well, they are actually abused and neglected by the system. And the reason why they're regressing is because they have been torn from everything that they've known. They've been torn from their moms and their dads. The elderly have been torn from their children, and they feel very, very alone and lost and scared. And yet they're being made to go on like everything's okay. And I will speak as a mom who, was in this for over a year the first time, and I had to jump through so many hoops, and I had to act like everything was fine. I had to play a huge game in trying to do everything I could to protect my children. And in the end, they just left, and I was left there really not knowing what to do and to pick up the rest of the pieces of my life. My marriage was completely destroyed. I had to move back in with my mom. Even though I had a master's in counseling, I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to go on and be licensed by a state who would do such things. I went through these so-called courts, and I never even got a chance to speak. I saw what they did, and I've spoken with many people who have experienced the corruption, and I've seen what they've done. These courts are not about truth. They're not about, letting everyone get a chance to speak. It's not about facts. These are based on presumptions, assumptions, and hearsay. And these courts are truly kangaroo courts. And I got bugs coming out. But I wanted to talk about this because I remember the first time I was in the court and the judge granted temporary custody to basically CPS, and I was sitting there, never even had a chance to speak, and then the supervisor behind me, as soon as they adjourned, they were all laughing, turned around, talking to the attorneys, the judge, and then the trainees that they had sitting on the benches, and they were all just laughing like nothing even happened. Now, I'm sitting there with tears rolling down my eyes in disbelief as to what just took place. And I think that this is why there are so many ignorant people today, is because you truly don't think that these things can go on. And unless you experience it yourself or have someone who has experienced it, or you really open up your heart to listen and see the pain and hurt in people, then you are so far removed from it, and there is seriously a cognitive dissonance that happens that keeps you in a place where you feel comfortable, because being uncomfortable is something that people try to avoid. And I think that we should speak about this. I think that it is important to be using our voices and speaking our truth and shining our lights. There is infiltration in every area of this world, every level. You look at every system in place, and it's in the spiritual communities as well. And, there's a time where I had to pull back, and I had to truly do a lot of soul searching, which I continue to do, but I really had to start to think, do I just sit here and I try to raise my vibrations and then things will be attracted to me, or is there something more that I need to do? And so I got really serious about trying to clean my body out and trying to be able to hear these messages. I'm on day 14 of another whole food fruit fast, and I am doing this again in steps, because it can be difficult if you try to, do it in leaps and bounds. I think that we need bite sizes to digest and absorb and utilize, and I'm doing this in order to really be led in what to do, because I believe that action is important. And I think that some of the spiritual groups are speaking about things that may be true for them, but for moms and dads who are in a place where their little ones have been taken or their elderly have been kidnapped from them, there is more that we are here to do. And we are to do it in love. We are to do it in the ancient way of things. This does not mean that we allow people to step on us. No, we are actually standing tall and being able to walk. And so there's more I want to talk about this, but I just wanted to come out here and say that as I'm continuing to learn, because when you are trying to find out information, back in the time when this happened to me, there wasn't a whole lot out there, and I was being bounced around to one group to another, trying to find out what is actually going on. And as I learn more, I want to help people in order to kind of get rid of a lot of the mess a lot of the noise that's out there. I do think that there are different paths that we can take in order to take that stand, in order to claim back what is rightfully ours on many different levels. And so I hope that my journey forward brings me to a place where I am able to not only assist my own family, but others as well. And I just wanted to let people know it is a growing process. I am in the midst of it, and I am not giving up, but I do believe that we have to speak our truth and shine our lights. And there is a balance, and it truly does start with going within, looking at that man or woman in the mirror, finding the keys in our hearts, and then being led into what we are to do. And we will all be led in a way that is right for us, and those relationships that we have and what we have signed up for when we come here, and those life lessons. So raising up the vibrations, I think, takes us coming together and uniting in love. And if we are silent on things, then it's very lonely for people who feel like they're helpless and hopeless, and we aren't. And each day we can take steps forward in the now, right now. We can take steps in order to come together and unite and to stand on what is true, what is loving, what is right, and help our families, because the human trafficking of our families is not okay. And it's going on all over the world. It's been going on for a long time. And it's time for us to put an end to it. And it's going to take raising our vibrations. Yes, it's going to take going inside. It's going to take the effort to do these things, the heart to do these things, the surrendering in order to do these things. I think that's probably one of the biggest things, is surrendering, and knowing that the process is where we learn the life lessons. And these events happen in order to wake us up and to move us into our greatness, what we're here to do, our purpose and our mission. So let us shine our lights brightly and speak our truth, and know that you will be able to get those answers as you go within and quiet things down, and try Wim Hof breathing. I will leave a link in the description box. That really helps to get the autonomic nervous system realigned and balanced out, and resets everything. And then yoga has helped me. And like I said, I am on a fruit fast again, and I am very loving to myself, and I am patient with myself, and I continue to look for those doors that no one else can open, that I know will be opened at the right time. And then those doors that need to be closed will be closed. And as long as I am preparing my fields, the rain, when it comes, I will be ready. And you guys will be too. I love you. I'm here for you. And I will come back for more. And just know that the keys are within. You are that divine love and light. So shine brightly. Namaste to you.